It's an herbal drink, cleansing my body of toxic sludge and nasty chemicals, and of course, ridding the intruders that are hidden in my so-called food. And by the way, Life Change Tea is non-GMO and organic. No fillers, no yuck. Just a great defense against you-know-what. May the supplement force awaken you. Don't fall to the dark side. Sorry. I went to the movies last night. Anyway, enough said. How do you get that herbal drink and change your life? GetTheTea.com. That's GetTheTea.com. You will awaken. You will get stronger, and you might even lose a bit of weight. So awaken to Life Change Tea and the many one-of-a-kind supplements at GetTheTea.com. That's GetTheTea.com. May the supplement force be with you.
The Opperman Report is brought to you by SubhashTechnosis.com. Subhash Technosis is a search engine optimization and website design company located in India. So you know you're going to save a lot of money and get top quality service to boot. They offer all kinds of services, business process outsourcing, data entry, banking BPO services, recruitment process outsourcing, software testing, offshore research networking, customer care, press release content writing and distribution, and much, much more. They offer website development, e-commerce solutions, mobile responsive designs. Now, I've personally worked with Subhash for over 10 years. This is the man that puts out my press releases. They've done work on my websites, so I can personally recommend SubhashTechnosis.com. You can find a link to Subhash Technosis at OppermanReport.com and also AwakeRadio.us. You can have your ad played here at OppermanReport.com every Friday night, 5 p.m., and Saturday night, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And on Friday nights, too, we do a live portion for 1 hour that I just do a live monologue. The ads are very, very inexpensive, and they're also played in the Opperman Report member section. In the member section, you can find all kinds of exclusive content that you won't find anywhere else. It's as cheap as $6 a month, $20 a quarter, or $75 for a year. If you contact me directly at oppermanreport@gmail.com, I'll set you up with a little special deal there where you get a discount if you PayPal me directly, and you can get a copy of my book. I want to thank Sean Duff from strawmanmusic.com. He's an excellent musician. And I also want to thank William Ramsey, who helps us produce the show and book guests. You can find William Ramsey, who's an excellent author, at William Ramsey Investigates on YouTube. Welcome back to the Opperman Report. I'm your host, private investigator, Ed Opperman. We are here with the beautiful Wonderhussy from Wonderhussy.com and Wonderhussy Adventures on YouTube, and also Sarah Jane Woodhall. You can find her on Facebook. And I encourage everybody to follow Sarah Jane Woodhall on Facebook, or Wonderhussy on Facebook too, because she's always has something interesting to post and talk about this controversy. She has questions, and you can see all her pictures of her wonderful art that she does, where she dresses up as these characters and these floats, and there's always something going on in the world of Wonderhussy that's very, very creative and artistic that you really appreciate. I'm very glad I stumbled across Sarah Jane Woodhall. Now, Sarah, I noticed you're coughing over there, right? Does this have anything to do with with the legalization of marijuana here in our fair city of fabulous Las Vegas?
No, actually, you just caught me by surprise when you came back on, and I swallowed down the wrong pipe. That's all that was.
Okay, the choking Wonderhussy. Speaking of choking, I almost choked myself when I was watching one of your fabulous videos, and I saw you making something called Frito pie.
Oh, yeah. Why would you choke about that, Ed?
Well, my dear, okay, I'm a vegan now. Okay, I'm 100% vegan. Describe what this stuff, how it's made and what it looks like and what the ingredients in your recipe of this Frito pie.
Okay, so Frito pie is traditionally a Texas high school football dish, right? So if you really want to go classic Frito pie, you get one of those little mini bags of Fritos that you get at the convenience store. You rip it open sideways. You dump on chili and cheese, sour cream, and onions. That's Frito pie. Okay, now, I'm from California. I'm a highbrow foodie. I'm not trying to eat a bag of Fritos with convenience store chili on it. Ed, really? So I use Fritos. You can't get away from the Fritos. Yeah. So you basically put some Fritos in a bowl. You put some chili on top of it. And the way I make it, I use Amy's organic chili, which, by the way, is vegetarian. It's made with soy.
Oh, really?
And then I put, corn and Rotel, like tomatoes and peppers. on it to make it, add a little bit more nutrition, and then sprinkle some cheese on top. So cheese, aside from the cheese, it is a vegan dish. Guess what?
Okay, well, guess what then? Okay, well, even still, watching that slop come out of that can, because you got to watch it. I couldn't believe it. I think I even commented, I'm going to make you some nice, fresh chili with fresh peppers and fresh onions and fresh tomatoes in there. Wouldn't that be nice? I'll freeze it and I'll send it over to you.
Well, actually, I did that once. I was visiting my mom. I'm really into making regional variations on Frito pie, right?
Okay.
So, like, say I'm in Louisiana, I might put or Texas, I'll put some armadillo meat in it or something, little things like that to go regional. So I was visiting my mom, who lives in the wine country, right, like Napa, Sonoma area, Northern California. It's a very foodie, highbrow area. So we did make a high-end Frito pie up there with fresh tomatoes, fresh this, that, and the other, just like what you're talking about. So it can be spruced up and made with high-quality stuff. Fritos aside, you kind of have to have the Fritos in it.
Yeah.
But I'm mostly making it when I'm camping out on the road. So for me, it's easier to just get a can of chili, like slop it out, like you say. But then again, if it's Amy's organic chili, it's fairly healthy ingredients. It might look like dog food, but it's supposedly made out of all non-GMO, blah, blah, blah stuff.
Oh, yeah, we actually eat some Amy's stuff. My daughter gets the Amy's non-chicken chicken soup there, the non-chicken soup.
Yeah, Amy's has amazing vegetarian and I think vegan frozen foods, fast foods, quick foods. They even have a fast food restaurant in Northern California that's Amy's Drive-Thru, where you can get vegan burgers, fries, and milkshakes.
Oh, very cool, very cool. I'm looking to get on a station up there in Napa, so as soon as I get on there, we'll bring it back on. Also, too, I'm about to start 5 days a week at KYAH 540 AM up in Utah. Now, do you have any adventures up in Utah that you'd like to share with the audience? Must-go-to spots up in Utah?
I love Utah. It's gorgeous, but it's very conservative. I have a girlfriend who was fined $700 for being topless in a slot canyon in Utah. So I'm not a huge fan of Utah. I do love the natural beauty, and I am planning a trip to Moab, which is in Utah, mid-April. So I'll be up in Utah for probably 10 days. I'm going to check out Zion. I'm going to check out Bryce and the stuff around Moab, like Canyonlands and Arches Park.
Well, when you're there, be sure and tune in to 540 AM, okay? And listen to the
album. Oh, I will.
Yeah, I may even repeat this show just for you. Now,
my favorite secret about Utah for your listeners, it's not anything to do with any of the parks there. It's beautiful scenery, but my favorite thing to do in Utah is right outside Zion, in the town of Hurricane. It looks like the word hurricane, but they pronounce it Hurricane. It's the closest town to Zion, and it's the closest Walmart, right? So a lot of people will want to stop at the Walmart to get supplies. Well, guess what else? It's the closest Walmart to the polygamist town down there where all the polygamists live.
Oh, really?
So you can go you go into that Walmart, and it's wall-to-wall sister wives. Like, the sister wives with the big puffy hairdo and the long dresses, the pioneer dresses, all shopping for their giant families, buying these giant cans of dehydrated everything for their survival bunkers. It's fascinating.
They're probably making a Frito pie, right?
All I can say is I'm going to have to stop at a Walmart when I'm down there to get supplies for Frito pie, and you can bet your bippy I'm going to be going to that Walmart.
Well, don't get sucked into the whole sister wife situation. I hate to see Wonderhussy wind up as just one of many wives to one of these characters.
I'm not the marrying kind, period. Don't worry, Ed.
I'm going to tuck you out of it one day. Now, what do you call? Because a big part of your adventures, because you talk about how your friend got fined for being topless out there in the wilderness, right? Which is so odd, right? Mm-hmm. Imagine that you can't take off your clothes in the middle of nowhere.
Well, not when there's kids potentially around.
Yeah, okay. Because those kids never saw themselves naked in the bathroom, right? But one of your big facets of your adventures is you like to go to soak in these hot springs.
Oh, love it.
Now, how'd that come about? You kind of soak in any kind of water that's out there, right? No matter how...
Well, if it's hot, I get cold really easy, so I love hot water. So nothing like soaking in a nice hot bath, right? Well, what if you were soaking in a nice hot bath under the stars? That's even better. So I first started going to hot springs here in Vegas, actually. There's a couple of really nice hot springs right by the Hoover Dam.
Right.
A lot of people don't realize that. So I went hiking with some friends once, And they took me down to this hot spring, and I had no idea it existed. And it was such a cool experience. It kind of gave me the bug. Now I'm into hot springs.
And also, too, you're a nudist. You like to hang out like at nudist places and nudist hot springs and stuff like that?
Well, I wouldn't call myself a nudist in the sense that I want to go to a nudist colony and play volleyball with a bunch of naked people. That feels forced and kind of creepy to me.
Right.
If I'm soaking at a hot spring in nature, I would just rather do it nude, because then I don't have to carry a wet bikini back with me, and it just feels, I don't know, it feels natural.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. Now, what about, since they've legalized 420, has that changed your life at all?
It hasn't changed my life. I mean, I always get my weed here and there, odds and ends anyway, so, I mean, it's nice. It's definitely nice being able to go into a dispensary and buy it if you need it, but the prices are a little on the high side for my purposes, so I wouldn't say it's changed my life.
Okay, so the prices inside the store are more expensive than the prices on the street?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, I wouldn't say like substantially so, but for me, I'm not a big pot smoker.
Right.
I just eat pot. I have insomnia, so the best way I've found to help myself sleep better than any benzodiazepine or over-the-counter pill is eating marijuana. Like I get indica, which if anyone knows anything about marijuana, there's 2 strains, indica, sativa. Well, there's 3 strains, but those are the 2 main ones. Sativa is more of a brain high, gets you creative. Indica is the type of weed that knocks you out, right? Well, that's what I want. I want to knock myself out to sleep. So I get indica weed, and I make butter out of that, and then I make cookies out of that. And if I eat a cookie every night before bed, it really helps me sleep. So, you know, you can buy edibles at the dispensaries now legally, but they're, you know, probably like $10 a piece. So if I'm going to pay $10 every night to sleep, that's really unsustainable. Crazy. It's better for me to just bake my own cookies. And for that, it's way cheaper if I can just scrounge up some ditchweed from some friends or something like that.
Now, when you make that butter, does it taste any good? Does that butter taste good?
Well, it depends on your definition of good. Like, I make my butter really strong because I'm trying to clobber myself over the head and knock myself into sleep, right? I'm trying to beat my brain into submission. So the way you make canna butter is you put the weed into the butter and you simmer it, right? So the recommendation is 1 ounce of weed per 1 pound of butter. Well, for me, I like to put as much as I can, 2 ounces, maybe even 3 ounces, and also depends on how long you simmer it. So I try to simmer mine as long as I can so that the butter comes out dark, almost black green. It's like this greasy, evil-looking mess, which if you buy commercial canna butter, it's this pretty light, pale green color. So that just, to me, means it's not effective. The stuff I make, I wouldn't say it tastes good, but it will help you sleep.
Okay, yeah. I got no trouble sleeping. I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, so I fall. This is my bedtime right now. I'm usually asleep right now. I go to sleep pretty early. Now, what kind of adventures do you have planned for the future?
I'm going up to Area 51 in a week or two to do some exploring up there. I'm going to hike up Tikaboo Peak, which is a mountain peak from which you have a clear, unobstructed view into the base. If you get there first thing in the morning with the sun behind you, then if you bring binoculars or a telescope, you can see into Area 51, like spy on it. The catch is you got to do it at first light. So ideally, you want to hike up there the night before and spend the night up there. There's kind of like a little sniper's nest that people have built where you could camp out overnight. But I'm figuring it's going to be very cold because we had this cold snap blow in, and I don't want to camp in the cold at the top of a mountain. So my friend and I are going to camp at the trailhead and then just hike up first thing in the morning and see what we can see.
Have you ever been up there before?
Yeah, I hiked up there once before, and it is not an easy hike. It's a steep mountain. I don't know what the elevation gain is, but it's a rough trail, so not easy to do.
And you got to wonder, because this guy, Sean David Morton, you know, he's hiked up there so many times. He's a big fat guy. He's over 300 pounds. I wonder how he's been doing it. He's hiked up to Tikaboo? He's been doing it since the beginning. He's one of the first guys to start doing it. He used to be on the radio before me, right before me. He's in prison right now. Okay, they put him in prison for all kinds of phony tax returns, all kinds of crazy stuff he was up to. He's been hiking up there since way, like 20, 30 years ago. He's been hiking up there. As one of the first people to go up there.
I see.
Yeah. Well, that's what he says. Who knows? You know what? Maybe he just says it. You guys have lied about everything else.
Exactly. I haven't seen any other channels on YouTube because most of the guys who make these Area 51 videos are fat asses are out of shape or they're too old or whatever.
Yeah.
Not many can make that hike, so I figured that's what's going to give me the edge.
Oh, there you go. Okay, let's take another commercial break here. With Sarah Jane Woodhull, Wonderhussy Adventures on YouTube, Wonderhussy.com. You still writing on Wonderhussy.com?
I don't really have time to write my blog anymore. I'd love to.